Today we're going to be playing a little bit of Tetris of sorts. Let's go, let's go. I actually really enjoy making these vlogs. So today we're going to do a daily vlog. I'm going to update you guys a bit on how the business and my business in general is going because I've had a few questions. And yeah, we're going to play some Tetris. Quick business update. Basically, my regular job of videography, drone work, photography, it's been shockingly busy for October because here in Vancouver, the weather has been phenomenal. Fall is gorgeous, the colors are everywhere, and it hasn't been raining very much. It's really weird. So because of that, I've been doing 4 or 5 shoots a week, which is a lot more than I usually do in October, which is good news for me, but not good news for this channel and making more videos because I do this when I'm not busy with my normal job. In other words, business is good for my day job. For my 3D printing business though, it's a little slow. My best seller still selling pretty well. My new product had an initial surge, but it's quieted off a little bit. Makes sense, and it's for an older camera. Overall, my sales have kind of just slowly tapered, which makes sense because people buy cameras, use them the most in the summer when things are gorgeous out, and then as it gets rainier, they're less focused on their cameras. So that makes sense. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with though is my lack of new products. So today we're gonna change that. I recently picked up the new DJI Osmo Nano. I mainly got it for its size. It's super, super tiny. I want to use it inside some of my machines, and for putting it in my pocket and bringing it on runs like this morning, that was all shot with this tiny camera. And just like having something that is super, super easy to grab and just chuck in my pocket or in a bag or anything. I never have to worry about it taking up too much space. But of course, being a camera person, I'm terrified of scratching that front lens element. So I designed a little cap. And once you take the cap off, of course, you don't want to lose it, so I embedded some magnets so that it's always stuck there when you're using it. It fits on the bottom or the top, depending on how you're using the little camera. I printed this using my Bamboo X1 carbon, so let's take a look at what that looked like from the view of the DJI Osmo Nano. Well, that's pretty cool. It's a finished product. I haven't listed it yet, but if people are interested, I will start selling it. It's very small, so the shipping is gonna probably be letter mail, which is nice. And we get to add it here, which is part of what this whole Tetris game is about. Let me get into that. As you may have seen in my last video, I built this awesome hidden workbench underneath, and basically half of the stuff in my studio has moved places, but the really cool thing is now I have easy access to my new laser engraver. But I'm still in a whole reorganize, change everything mood, and I'm sick of having to reach up here for all of my filament, and I end up just like, it's really sketchy, but I end up standing on my desk to look for whatever I'm trying to find up here. So our first project today with the laser engraver is going to be building a rack here for me to put the filament on so I can actually see the colors, see the types. Very excited for this change. Before I could get started, I needed a few 3D printed add-ons, and I had to get caught up on some client work while the rain poured down outside. To get the Acmer P3 to fit into its new home, I needed to design and install a 90-degree exhaust connector to the new air purifier. For this project, we are going to switch from the 2-in-1 to the 48-watt laser, as we will be cutting through some 12mm birch, which was a bit too long, so we started with the cut in half, which also allowed me for my first test of the settings. I'm using Lightburn, and it's honestly so simple to use. Laser cutting and engraving is all 2D, so it's not nearly as complex as 3D printing. It's also much faster. So with a few settings dialed in, now it's time to watch in awe as the cutter burned its way through the birch, making smooth cuts of my model. The Acmer P3 is fully enclosed, and although it did smell a little bit like smoke, I could see the majority getting pulled into the air purifier right away. This machine is very versatile, and although it's very simple, it does take a bit of experimentation to get perfect results. There's definitely a lot of charring on these, so I gotta dial in my settings and I guess do more passes. I know nothing about laser engraving, but it was super simple. I have these old rods from a slider, so, oh, nice. Good job. At least I can still model. So, pretty simple. Boom. That's gonna be perfect. It's the moment of truth. We get to see how many of these rolls will fit. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 with one almost all the way in. That is awesome. Now I just need to cut 3 more sets. The nice thing about laser cutting for this project versus 3D printing is just how fast it can do these cuts. Each pair takes about 7 minutes to cut, which is how long the warm-up routine is on my bamboos. Like most Friday projects, this one has gone overtime. So I just finished up my last cut, and we're gonna jet because I gotta get home, and I'm gonna sneak in an hour or two tomorrow to finish up this Tetris. Let's roll. And we're back at it again. I got here early so that I can finish up this project before the girls wake up and still get home. So back to Tetris. I did a quick round of sanding to clean up the char and locked it in with some stain so that we can do the full install. What I mean by Tetris is we're gonna move these over here, and then that's gonna make us move this right up into there. Just kind of making all the pieces drop into place properly. Okay, so now all the filament is loaded up on the racks, and my product filament is here. And this is gonna be more long-term storage. I'm gonna get rid of that. So much better. That just opens the space up. I filmed this way a lot and it was just looked cluttery, and I'm not ready to figure out the aesthetics of this wall yet, but I'm ready for function. So I liked having that big light dome up there. It really helped illuminate the space. So we're gonna put that back up in the top corner, but other than that, nothing else. And finally, we are moving the bubble wrap dispenser in a little bit tighter, which turned out very nice. Continuing on with our game of Tetris. So that's a wrap for the project today. We got rid of the eyesore. It looks much cleaner. We jammed a bunch of stuff up there, so that still needs to be organized a little bit, but good enough for now. Our desk is looking great, and the Acmer P3 did wonderful. I'm loving how this little section is looking. So easy, I can actually see what filament I have in stock. We moved a bit more stuff up there for the CNC, which is what our next project is going to be all about. Looking clean, looking good. Now that is what I'm talking about. All right, I'll see you guys next time.